Julian Hoes is a European policy specialist, editor of the French Dispatch, and he's also a member of President Macron's Renaissance Party, joining us live from Brussels now. Think back 12, 13 years or so to the last time the European Union was in real crisis. You had the Angela Merkel-Nicolas Sarkozy partnership, two very different politicians who got on with the job pretty well. Now, crisis again, a war in Europe, and that power couple, well, that's a rather different-looking relationship. How serious are these concerns about a rift, or are they overblown, do you think?
I think in many ways they are overblown to an extent. I mean, back in October last year, there was a very real situation that could have spilled into a very dangerous situation. But now things have stabilized, and we need to remember that there are a lot of similarities and points in common between Emmanuel Macron and Olaf Scholz, such as the wish to push for a more sovereign Europe and increasing the investments in defense and European industry.
So why do you think people talk about a rift, and why do they highlight concerns about how important it is that France and Germany and their two leaders, Olaf Scholz and Emmanuel Macron in this case, are able to work in lockstep together?
I mean, just there, you've said it perfectly. It's because it's so important that when there's even the slightest tension, it becomes very newsworthy and very worrying to many people. I mean, geopolitically, let's be honest, the SDP and the Renaissance sides of things have very different ideas of how to go about achieving the common goals that we have in mind. And if we're entirely honest, Angela Merkel and Nicolas Sarkozy had similarities in their ideologies, whereas Emmanuel Macron and Olaf Scholz are different in their ideologies despite having common goals, and also different in their temperaments, which means that any problems comes across far bigger than it actually is.
Where is the common ground between them? Where do they need to move towards, do you think, to portray an image of unity between this power couple at the front of EU politics and actually get things done?
So first of all, as I said, there's a lot of similarities and a lot of cohesion on the topics of increasing European sovereignty, dealing with the current economic plan of Joe Biden and the States and finding a European solution to this that combines all the efforts of European states, investing further in defense and industries, so making sure that European defense is up to scratch and also that the European industry can compete on the global scale. However, one of the big things that has caused some issues is how to go about ensuring a European sovereignty and particularly strategic autonomy. For example, Macron favors an EU sovereignty fund that finances investments across the EU, but Olaf Scholz and the SDP are against this because of the fact that effectively, this would lead to more European debt, which has always been a German red line, no matter who the Chancellor has been. And this is something where they're going to have to work together. But if we are entirely honest, the role of the Franco-German engine is to lead the way, take on the tough discussions, find solutions, and also bring everybody to the table so that the right solution can be found for everybody in the EU.
OK, Julian Hoes, European policy specialist, thanks for speaking to us.
Thank you.